There was once a woman named Clara who carried the world on her shoulders. To anyone who saw her, she seemed fine composed, responsible, maybe even strong, but inside she was exhausted. Not from work or life's demands, but from holding on to everything that had already ended. She held on to people who had long walked away. She held on to memories that brought her more pain than peace. She held on to guilt, to regrets, to things she wished she had done differently. Her heart was a small room filled with old echoes, and there was no space left for new beginnings. Every night, she replayed her past in her mind, words she wished she had not said, choices she wished she had not made, people she wished had stayed. It was like she was trying to rewrite her story, but the ink was already dry. One morning, after another sleepless night, Clara decided to take a walk. She wandered through the park near her home. It was quiet, except for the soft sound of the wind brushing through the trees. She sat on a wooden bench, her hands clasped tightly together, as if she could keep her life from falling apart if she just held on hard enough. An old woman approached her. Her steps were slow, but her eyes were steady and kind. She sat beside Clara without asking, as if she knew she was meant to. After a few moments of silence, the old woman said softly, "You look like someone trying to hold the wind." Clara turned, puzzled. "What do you mean?" The woman smiled gently. "The harder you try to hold the wind, the faster it slips away. Some things are meant to pass through your hands, not stay in them." Clara's eyes welled up. "But I can't just forget. I can't just let go. If I do, what will be left of me?" The old woman looked ahead at the trees swaying. "Letting go isn't forgetting. It's choosing peace over pain. You do not lose what was real. You lose only the weight of what no longer belongs to you." Clara did not know what to say, so they sat together quietly, listening to the rustle of leaves. After a while, the old woman reached into her small cloth bag and pulled out a tiny bird made of paper. It was delicate and beautiful, folded with care. She handed it to Clara. "When my husband died," the woman said, "I could not stop missing him. I spent years wishing I could go back. Then one day, I realized my hands were always clenched, full of pain, and I could not hold anything new. So I started folding paper birds. Each time I made one, I whispered something I needed to let go of. Regret, anger, guilt. Little by little, I felt lighter. I learned that love does not disappear when you let go of pain. It grows freer." Clara looked down at the paper bird in her palm. "What if I'm not ready?" she whispered. The old woman smiled. "Then start small. Let go of one thing today. Just one. That's how healing begins." Before Clara could ask anything else, the woman stood up. "I come here every morning," she said. "If you ever want to sit in silence, you'll find me here." And then she walked away, slow and steady, as if she had all the time in the world. That night, Clara placed the paper bird on her bedside table. It seemed simple, almost childish, but something about it comforted her. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath. For the first time in a long while, she did not try to fix her past. She just let the memories flow through her like wind. The next morning, she found herself walking back to the park. The old woman was there again, feeding crumbs to the birds. Clara sat beside her, quietly. This time, she brought a small sheet of paper. She folded it clumsily, mimicking the bird she had been given. When she finished, she whispered, "I forgive myself." The woman nodded, smiling without a word. From then on, Clara came every day. Each morning, she folded a paper bird, one for the things she could not change, one for the people she missed, one for the fears she was ready to release. Slowly, the heaviness inside her began to fade. Weeks passed, and Clara started noticing things she had ignored before: the warmth of the sun on her skin, the laughter of children nearby, the scent of jasmine in the breeze. Life was still imperfect, but it no longer felt like a burden. One day, she arrived at the park, but the old woman was not there. On the bench, she found a small note written in neat handwriting. "When your hands are free, your heart will know what to hold next." Clara smiled softly. She looked at the sky, then at the dozens of paper birds she had made. For the first time in years, she did not feel the urge to control, fix, or hold on. She simply sat and breathed. A little girl ran past her, chasing a butterfly, laughing without a care in the world. Clara watched her and thought, maybe that's what it means to live, to love, to lose, to learn, and then to let go. That evening, she opened her window and released all the paper birds into the sky. The wind carried them away, some high, some far, some caught briefly in the trees before breaking free again. As she watched them drift into the horizon, she whispered, "Thank you." And for the first time in a long time, her heart felt light. Not empty, just free. Because letting go didn't mean she stopped caring. It meant she finally started living. And that was enough. If this story touched your heart, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind you to find peace within yourself.